All right. Hello.
Oh, they changed it.
Welcome to Confidence to Leap. If you have a journal, grab a journal. We'll be answering some questions, and let me know if you can hear me well in the chat. Feel free to ask any questions in the chat, any comments, anything you want to share, your journaling questions. So my name is Sonia, and I'm really happy to be here. And my intention really for this workshop is to channel what is for the highest good of everyone involved and really transmit an energy of joy and for all of us to just have fun and experience shifts and up-leveling in every way. And a little bit about me, I am a coach, I'm a PSYCHK facilitator, a human design expert, and a Kundalini yoga and meditation teacher. I also have an MBA from NYU and a bachelor in biochemistry and French from Tufts. I worked in immunology research, I worked in the corporate world. So I'll talk a little bit about human design, but you'll see I'm really living my design of being multi-passionate and allowing myself to really change directions. So I really help people transform their lives. I help people reprogram their beliefs, release conditioning, how we were told we needed to be in order to be loved, accepted, successful. And I also help people release all the programming of scarcity and limitation that we were taught, and really tune into their innate power and realize the unlimited abundance that's available to us, even though we were kind of taught that there's all this scarcity and we need to compete with others and make sure that we beat others to compete for this limited pie, but we can expand the pie. So my purpose in human design is really to provoke talent, leadership, purpose, and spirit in others. And each person has a different purpose in their human design or a theme to their life. So I'm kind of here to trigger people with consciousness and really push them to their greatness. And sometimes that's people don't like being triggered, but it's all in the highest good of everyone and really guiding people back to their power. So I wasn't always, right now I love my life, I love what I'm doing, and I allow myself to do it in my own way, but so I don't really follow any of the rules that we're taught to follow, but I wasn't always this way. Well, and also what I wanted to talk about is that we're really entering this new paradigm when things are really accelerating, and we need to grow more quickly. So in 2027, at least according to human design, we're entering into this new paradigm. And it's really about moving away from the old world rules, the old institutions, and it's really about being in our authenticity and being our most authentic magnetic selves, and really sharing our truth. So again, feel free to share any questions or any reflections in the chat, and we'll just start by briefly closing our eyes and taking a few deep breaths. So breathing into the belly, expanding the belly, the ribs, and the chest. And centering ourselves within this moment, just becoming present to the temperature in the room, the way our clothes feel on our bodies, and just really being present in this moment. And grounding. And just noticing how we're feeling without judgment. just relaxing into the present moment. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. And hopefully we're a little more present. That's been a big theme for me recently. Just making sure I'm as present as I can be in every moment. And, I think I'll talk about this more about, the awareness of where we are in each moment. And, I've been catching myself a lot being in the present or being in the past or future. So just coming back to this moment where all our power is. So I wanted to share a little bit more about my story because some of you don't know me. And well, if you do, maybe you'll learn something new. And really my story, it's a reflection of how I'm living my design, and I'm here to teach through my experience, and I've been through a lot of trial and error process throughout my personal growth journey. So first of all, I was born in Poland. I grew up there, and I moved to the US when I was 16. Kind of was always very intellectual and focused on academics, and and I think my journey has been really to coming back to being present in the body, in my heart, in my sacral, which is my authority in human design, which is how I'm meant to make decisions. So just admit, okay. So yes, grew up in Poland, came to the US when I was 16, and kind of didn't have much of an idea of what to do with my life. And my family was like, oh, you should be a doctor. And I'm like, yeah, I've always wanted to help people. So yes, I'll be pre-med. And I studied biochemistry and, was going to go to medical school. And after college, I worked in science research and immunology research, which, this was part of my journey to really release judgment around changing directions, and I allowed myself to do that when I decided not to go to medical school. So I decided to move to New York because that's what was exciting to me. And I didn't know that I was following my sacral authority because, at that point I didn't have any connection with my intuition or anything. So, but I moved to New York, I did my MBA. And during my MBA, I realized I was like super stressed. It was a very high pressure environment, living in New York. And right when you get to the MBA, you start looking for internships. And I had only really worked in the lab doing research. So I was super insecure and just like, I needed something. New York was such an intense place. So, and I was like drinking and partying a lot, like all the things. And that's kind of when I discovered Kundalini Yoga, which, and I started doing it more often. And I noticed like all the things that I was trying to cover up with, with kind of distracting myself, all of those things were coming up with Kundalini. So, and after my MBA, I went through a bad breakup, and that's kind of where I was like, okay, I need to like get my shit together and like fix myself. That's not really a good place to start your personal growth journey from, but it was a place for me. So I invested a lot of money in my personal growth, and started my Kundalini yoga teacher training. And I thought, I was just going to be enlightened and, just after that experience, but I had to go through my dark night of the soul, and actually Kundalini kind of brought that up. I also got off birth control that I was on for many years, and was really, really depressed at that time. So anyway, so I had to go through a whole healing journey. And I started my business in 2015, right around the time when I enrolled in the Kundalini training. And yeah, I thought I was just gonna, coach people, but now I realize that this whole journey of, going through all these dark places and emerging from the shadow and figuring out how to heal myself. And it was a very non-linear path, which, you know, as a manifesting generator, that's kind of the path we go through. It's all over the place and it's messy. And, you know, I learned through trial and error, as I mentioned in my human design. So, you know, I tried all these things, therapy, coaching, like even antidepressants, you know, different diets, all these things. And, you know, finally, when I discovered human design, I realized that, let me just see if I can mute people. Okay. Okay. I forgot how to mute people. It's okay. Anyway, so in, you know, 2018, I discovered human design, and, you know, finally I felt like, because I had felt like something was wrong with me, that I couldn't just pick one path and stick to it and just, you know, follow that and be happy with it. Yeah, we have several manifesting generators in the house. And so yeah, so actually, like, you know, I've had all these unrelated interests. I was doing Kundalini, but also, you know, like, I had my business degree and was just interested in all these things. And I was like, well, I don't know, like, why can't I just pick one thing? So I was meant to leave things once they no longer excited me, but, you know, I had a lot of guilt around that. So finally, you know, I learned my design and I'm like, oh, okay, this makes sense. Like, I'm meant to change directions. I'm meant to, you know, move through life quickly, and sometimes it's too quickly for some others. And I'm not meant to really commit to things really long term. You know, it's okay to change my mind. And really, it was okay to follow my excitement. You know, I tried to make myself love my corporate job. I was in technology sales and relationship management, and I did not love, you know, learning about corporate solutions. I like the client relationship aspect, but it's like, so the things we love to do, the things that give us energy, are really a roadmap to what we're meant to be doing in this lifetime. And it's really not, you know, I thought I was like being irresponsible by the fact that I couldn't make myself excited about things I wasn't excited about. But it was really, you know, in human design, it's really the body that shows us, you know, like, and our excitement, and things that come easily to us. Like, the things that come easily are meant to come easily to us, and we're meant to be doing the things that that are fun and that bring us joy. Ashley says it's been coming up a lot since I'm moving. Yeah. The permission to change your mind and move on to something new. And yeah, and that's, you know, it can get tiring for anyone, like, to be like, okay, I'm constantly changing, but that's, you know, you constantly have to be moving into the new to expand, right, and to grow. So it's just because a decision was right a few years ago, you made that decision from where you were, like, you know, it might not be resonating anymore. So yeah, so for me, human design was really about leaving the things I was programmed to believe, and realizing that different things work for different people. Like, you know, we're all meant to make decisions differently. Each one of us has a unique flavor of intuition. Some people are meant to be like me, consistent, and routine works well for me. But some people are more, you know, meant to follow what they want to do in the moment, and they don't need a routine, even though we're taught that, oh, we all need a self-care routine. So yeah, and some people are meant to be more strategic and have a bit more of a plan, and I'm non-strategic and non-specific. So, you know, I manifest more generally. Like, I can have some ideas about my non-negotiables, but I don't have to have the next 5 years figured out. I manifest best when I just focus on the feeling that I want to manifest, and when I just take the next inspired action. So yeah, so I started sharing, like, once I learned human design, I'm like, oh my gosh, this can really help people. um, and um, and so I started doing readings for others, and that's been a really um, rewarding thing, because it's like you free people from all this conditioning and them thinking that they need to be a certain way, in order to thrive in this life. So yeah, and I think later in my journey, so after discovering human design, I also realized, like, living in New York wasn't aligned for me anymore. And in order to heal, I really needed to be closer to nature. I ended up moving to Seattle, but I was still in the same job, and I knew I needed to be a coach, and I knew I needed to help people heal and transform their lives. But I wasn't, I had so much fear financially. I mean, I grew up in Poland. It was right after communism, and my family had a lot of, scarcity beliefs. And, some of them I'm still reprogramming every day. Um, but yeah, so I ended up in Seattle, and then, I was asking the universe for help, because I'm like, I'm too scared to leave my job, but I really want to. And eventually I was let go from my job, which was like the best gift. And it all kind of worked out in a perfect way. So, always leaning on the universe for help, like, if there's something that's not aligned, yeah, like, you might have to take some action, but I was too scared. So I was like, okay, universe, you need to help me. And, then it was right before COVID when I lost my job. And then, as COVID hit, I really, well, I wasn't working, even though I was still trying to, like, look for other jobs. This is like the amount of fear I felt around just letting go of the corporate past. But I really started questioning, everything that we were told, the whole, what we were taught in school, by the media, by celebrities. And I think a lot of it was really taught to us to keep us small and make us feel powerless, and create, profits for many industries. So, I think for me, it was really realizing how powerful I am and how powerful my body was, in order to heal. At the time I was seeing a naturopath who told me I had Lyme. I was like, okay, I'm not gonna accept this. And I followed these really extensive protocols for a while that were, a lot of supplements and just restrictive diets, and it was more stressful to keep up with all the protocols than, so I think that really interfered with my healing and didn't help. So yeah, but it was all a step in the, like, that I needed to go through to realize that that doesn't work. And being a 3-5 profile in human design, that is how I'm meant to learn, and there's no judgment around making mistakes. They're not failures, they're just how I learn. And then I discovered, actually right before I met Ashley, who's here, I heard about German new medicine, and really that opened up my mind to, like, the fact that my body can heal itself if I adopt the right beliefs and the right thoughts and the right mindset. So I started doing more awareness work, which is, I think, so important to realize, like, what my thought patterns were, what my beliefs were. So that really, also, and I eventually I let go of all the stressful protocols. And then I realized that my relationship was not really what I wanted, and there was something else. And still, it took me a bit to be able to let go of these things. So anyway, so yeah, and I had always wanted to live, somewhere warm near the beach, and I've always lived cold places, and slowly I started realizing like what a strong desire of mine that was. But yeah, I still like I always really wanted that safety, and I chose safety for so long in my life, I realize now that it actually wasn't safe. It was just keeping me small. So I left Seattle in August of 2020, not really knowing what I was going to do. I went to visit my family for a bit in New York and then in Poland. And really, I thought maybe I'll move back to Poland because, like my dad has some land, and if things get really bad in the world, we might need to grow our own food or whatever. This was my thought process. I wanted to be safe. But then I was in Poland and realized that, I didn't really want to live there again. And I was like, I don't know where I'm gonna go, like, maybe San Diego. And then I was asking for guidance because I didn't know how things would work out. I knew I had to go back to the States because I could be freer and just weirder there. And, so I was on Instagram and I saw this ecstatic dance event and in Miami. And some people from my Kundalini yoga teacher training were there. And also this person I was following, randomly, this yogi that I was following because I met a guy on the beach in Southampton that summer. And so it was just like all these synchronicities. And, when I saw that ecstatic dance, I was like, oh, this is like, my soul was like, that's what I want. This is where I'm meant to be. And it felt really expansive. And at that point, I was like, I know my intuition, my sacral intuition in human design pretty well. So I knew that was what I needed to do. So anyways, I booked my ticket to Miami and came here, booked an Airbnb, didn't really have much of a plan. And the day after I arrived, Kate was there. She's here. She brought me to acro yoga, and I met, and I was really jet lagged and I didn't really want to go, but sometimes you feel like you need to be somewhere. And that's really helped me to just follow that. And so I met Patrick, who's the creator of Light Club, which you might have heard about or you're part of. And it was just all such divine timing. And and I was supposed to be in Poland for this wedding, and I had all these other plans, but my soul was just like, no, you have to go now. And because I arrived at that time and I listened to that, I was able to meet all these people, and which I don't think would have happened had I waited and did what I said I would have done, and that's the element of letting yourself change your mind and not feeling guilty about letting people down. It's like you need to really honor yourself first, because that's how you create a win-win for everybody. Because yeah, if you're doing something just because you said you would and you feel like that's what you need to stick to, like that's no one's going to really benefit, even though they might think they would be happier if you were at the wedding or at the party. So anyway, so yeah, really, since coming to Miami, it's been a wild ride, but I finally feel like I'm really in the right place. And later I also got into astrogeography, which you might have heard about, and it's all about like the astrology of places, right? So mine is on my Venus line, which is all about feeling abundant and beautiful. So I also incorporate some astrogeography into my work, and the Chiron line, which is all about your life's work and healing. So and I really, since I was in Poland, I realized that I need to go all in on my coaching business and fully commit to that, and really help others create this this amazing life experience that's available to us. And yeah, so and then most recently I I was able to, well, I actually PSYCHK found me, which has been an amazing journey, because I feel like with the tools that I was using before, I was reprogramming my thoughts and beliefs, but it did take a long time. And with PSYCHK, which is about subconscious reprogramming, it can be almost instantaneous. So so it's a much quicker way. And I'm like, okay, like I finally found the quick thing. I mean, obviously when you reprogram, like it doesn't always happen right that moment. Like you do have to take easy aligned actions, and you have to, you know, kind of integrate the belief. So it's not always like you just you just reprogram instantaneously. It can develop over time. Sometimes it is instantaneous. So yeah. So right now we'll just take a few minutes, and you know, if you want to close your eyes, just connecting to your breath and just answering a few questions. And I don't want this to be like an extensive journaling, just a few ideas if they come to you. So what leap are you being called to make in your life right now? So maybe something's no longer resonating. Maybe it's a job, maybe it's the place you live, maybe it's a relationship. And it can be very small. Maybe it's a change in how you're dressing or how you're eating or whatever. So just take a few more seconds and answer, what leap are you being called to make? And then the next question is, what excites you about it? What excites you about this leap? What feels expansive? And if you're called, you can share in the chat, or just write it down for yourself. And then, what scares you is the next question. What scares you about this leap? And now, once you have the fears that come up, just feel the fears. So imagining that you've made this leap successfully, and you know, there's no way you can fail in this leap. So you've completed, you have the thing you want. So now really tuning into what is the next easy aligned action that you can take right after this training. All right, so if anything came through, great. If you want to share, great. If nothing came through, that's fine. Just, you know, I'm gonna continue going through the different things you can, that are like my keys to leaping. So maybe something will come up as we're going through those. And yeah, so stay tuned. So, so my keys to sleeping is, the first one is really about, again, I start with human design because it is the way to decondition and really get to know your authentic self. And again, it tells you how to make decisions, how to, what your specific way of listening to your intuition is. And that's something you need to practice. It doesn't, you don't just learn it and are like, oh, okay. It's something that, this is why right now I'm really focusing on working with people long-term for at least 4 months. So they really get to understand their design. And, I mean, human design tells you about a lot, like how to use your energy. So for me, yeah, I'll read the comments in a bit. It's really to respond to that excited feeling, that expansive feeling, instead of trying to make things happen and initiate. So it's really waiting for that excitement and then taking the action, instead of like taking the action out of the should and out of the mind, right? And again, like my human design, to let myself try things, and each person learns a different way. And I think this is why starting with human design is so great, because it really tells you how to eat, sleep, exercise, what your gifts and talents are. So yeah, and if you're interested in journaling prompts for your energy type, for your design, you can go to my website later, soniapetecka.com, and sign up for my email list, and you'll receive those. And if you have any trouble, you can just message me and I'll send them to you. So other keys to sleeping, really starting with your internal state. So I do a lot of awareness exercises with my clients. So just, again, becoming aware of your thoughts, your beliefs, how you're feeling throughout the day. So, and each day can be a different theme. Maybe one day you focus, or with my clients, one day I focus on what am I thinking every 15 minutes. Then how am I feeling the next day? Like and then you can start practicing the beliefs that you want to practice every 15 minutes. Or what would I feel like if I had the thing that I desire? So really becoming aware of, is this really my preference or my desire? Is this my authentic truth? Or is this what the world tells me I need to be, or what I need to believe, or what I need to think? And once you are aware of these patterns, the next step is to really practice the new beliefs, the new thoughts you want to have them, write them, record them. And like when you really ground these new beliefs, you can really respond more effectively to anything that comes up in your life. So you get to choose the beliefs that you live. So whether I choose to believe that my life, that everything is working out for me, that things are getting better and better, that my body heals itself, that that money is easy to make, that yeah, and again, everything's working out, things can be easy, and I bring value with my presence, and so all these beliefs. Yes, I always have perfect timing. That's a good one. That I'm decisive. So you can really create your beliefs. So a little bit of a quick journaling exercise. What beliefs do you need to release that are limiting you? So that's the first question. Any beliefs that you feel that are keeping you small? Yeah. Okay. well, I'll get to the comments later. Okay, so and then what beliefs do you want to practice? Are you being called to really ground for yourself? And again, just quick answers. And I'll actually, because Kate said that a lot came up and she could spend a lot more time with each of those questions, I will send them out in my next email so you can spend more time with them.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kate. So yeah, so anyway, so I used to, again, do it in the more time-consuming way with, you know, just practicing my beliefs. And now I've found PSYCHK, which is really the most effective and efficient way I've found to shift beliefs. And it's really, you know, yeah, nice, Ashley. Yes, of course you can have the journaling prompt, so I'll send those out. So yeah, because really, you know, when I was practicing my beliefs, it was really through my conscious mind, and the conscious mind is only 1 to 5% of our consciousness, and 95 at least percent is our subconscious. So, and our subconscious really runs most of our lives. And so that's why it's so important to get to the subconscious beliefs and reprogram those. And even right now, as I'm talking, like the communication, the verbal communication is only about 8%, and the rest, 92%, is like our subconscious to subconscious communication. So it's really amazing. And the reason why it happens so quickly is because the subconscious, you know, functions at 40 million bits per second versus the conscious 40 bits per second of information. So it's like a supercomputer, really, our subconscious. And you know, it can process thousands of events at a time. So so that's why these shifts happen quickly. And you know, I think, you know, talking about that about PSYCHK is great, but you really have to experience it, because that's, you know, it's like Kundalini yoga. You could talk about it all day. But yeah, really it's the experience of it, because you feel the shift. So anyway, so one person here will get a chance to have a 45-minute PSYCHK session, which is, I'll also announce after the training. And yeah, so next it's really about you know, living your dream reality and vision. And you know, after you have those beliefs, it's like, okay, like, you know, what is my big vision? Like, how can I write about it in the present or past tense? And really, this is again different for specific people and non-specific people. Specific manifestors can, you know, infuse more details and can have more of an idea of how they want things to turn out. Of course, as many details as feel good. So whether you're specific or non-specific, you kind of know what feels good. Because I used to try to put so many specifics that it actually like stressed me out. So so I had to get more general. And you know, I also another thing that, you know, I am, again, consistent. So I love my supportive self-care routines. You know, so I do some things I want to share, like I wake up to my hot water with lime, and I do my matcha, and I have those rituals, you know, for the past 232 days. I've been doing my Course in Miracles practice every day. It's a year-long process. So I start my day with the Course in Miracles. I read the text for the day, and then I meditate on it. And you know, I've done lots of different forms of meditation, Kundalini, etc., and guided meditations. I love them all. I think they're all great. So meditation is key. So after meditation, I journal, you know, and I and you know, if if you join my program, you will get my morning journaling prompts, which I have a specific process that I use for the morning that just like makes me excited about the day. And only after that do I take my phone off of off of airplane mode, because I think it's so key to spend time off our phones, and really, especially in the morning. And I do, I throughout the day, I also come back to being present, and also back to the Course in Miracles lesson for the day. I do breath work daily, which is also included in when you work with me. I do some PSYCHK balances on, anything that happens. If any stressful situation comes up, I do, a PSYCHK balance on that, because PSYCHK is not just for beliefs. It can be used for, stressful situations, past, present, or future, on old trauma. And it really helps you shift that very quickly. And the point of why it's called a balance, I didn't mention. And this is how I kind of think very non-linearly, and now I don't judge it, because I'm a manifesting generator, and it's like whatever channels through. So so the reason why it's called a balance, it's because it gets your two hemispheres talking to each other. So the goal of PSYCHK is peace, to become whole-brained about any situation, because that's when you can respond resourcefully to anything that happens. And then I end my day with the Course in Miracles meditation, and I also write down some things that I'm grateful for. So yes, whole brain integration. So so it's really important in terms of meditation to connect back to source, or breath work, and helping, really to get inspired. And I think another key point, I try to go to the beach every day. Well, however you can get in touch with nature and really connect to that being energy, your feminine energy, being present in the body. Like when I go swimming in the ocean, that's when I get the downloads. It's like, when I'm on the phone and thinking all these thoughts, like the downloads have no space to come through, right? So you have to kind of clear the space for the downloads to come in. And that's the same thing with manifesting, and human design is actually the science of the aura, and it's all about clearing all the conditioning and programming from your aura, so that these things that you want can come to you more easily, so you manifest more easily. So that was a tangent, but yeah, basically coming back to your being feminine energy, being present in the body and nature, developing this, again, collaboration mindset instead of that competition, and also like aligning your life with the cycles. Like we have a cycle, right now I'm about to ovulate, so I try to plan my life around my cycle too, because when you're ovulating, you are meant to be more external, right? You're meant to share more and be more extroverted. And when you're, on your menstrual cycle, that's the time to kind of, receive guidance, to be a little more internal. And, and dancing is a great way to also get into your feminine energy. So, so yeah, and another thing is really allowing yourself to be in a supportive community. So I'm part of Light Club. I'm part of Kate's Shine Online community, but that's really, finding people who believe in you and support you is so important. And actually that is also part of my revamped Abundance with Ease program. There will be a supportive community component. So lastly, the last key to leaping was how I schedule my week. And I said I usually take Mondays off, unless I have, this Monday I actually am working, because I need to take off the second part of the week next week. because I'm going to a health freedom conference in Kansas City, which I'm really excited about. So excited to be there and just learn more and connect with more people. But basically, like the energy of Monday is more about resting and receiving guidance and yeah, so Monday is more of an internal day, so I try to really plan my week Monday, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays are good days to get stuff done, and that's why Wednesday is Mercury day, and so it's a good day to communicate. That's why I'm doing this training on Wednesday. So anyway, I recommend not scheduling too many things on Mondays, especially like meetings. So Tuesday through Thursday, great days to schedule all the meetings, especially Wednesday for communication, and really allowing yourself, Tuesday is Mars, so it's that fiery energy. Yeah, Wednesday, Mercury, communication. Thursday is all about that uplifting energy, productivity, and Friday is self-care because it's Venus and beauty and love. Yeah, and so good day to go to the spa. And Saturdays are actually ruled by Saturn, which is all about discipline. So Saturdays are actually good days to also get stuff done that you've been putting off or procrastinating on. So bringing structure, and then you can have more fun on Sunday, and Sunday fun days. There's a reason for that. It's ruled by the sun. And yeah, so that's kind of how I scheduled my week, and I encourage my clients to also structure their weeks in this way, so that they really take advantage of the energies that are helpful. So I'm really excited to talk about my program, Abundance with Ease, which is like, I feel like, because it's had a few iterations, but I feel like now it's finally the program that like I would have wanted for my transformation. And it really combines all the most effective tools that I found, which is human design, PSYCHK, mindset coaching, over Voxer, which is a voice messaging app. And I think connecting every day, or me being available to connect with you every day, that's so valuable, because you can get support. You don't have to wait till the call to get support. And so it's really, this program is designed for you to release the conditioning that keeps you small and create your heaven on earth. And and it's really for anyone who's feeling kind of heavy and stuck, and maybe you're depressed, or maybe you're in a job that you don't like, maybe you're doing things that you don't want to do, maybe you're wanting to move, or you're not having success in your business that you crave. So it's for people who have tried maybe different things, and are really ready to step into their power and confidence and share their authentic gifts with the world, and really let go of the struggle and let go of of the heaviness. So for people who are open to trying new things and really committed to their dreams, even though maybe like things have not worked out up to this point, you're like determined to make it happen, and willing to really invest the time, the energy, and the money in yourself, because it's all these ways that we show our commitment to ourselves. We show the universe that we're serious about our dreams. And yeah, it's time. I mean, as I said, like everything's accelerating. Even like the PSYCHK processes are simplifying, because we need to grow so much more quickly in these crazy times. So really what you can receive from this program is really believing in yourself and trusting yourself and having the clarity of what steps you need to take to create the life you desire. And really the action comes from an aligned space. So it's not like trying to force yourself to do things just because you have to. It's really about, you know, the action that comes so easily because yeah, it's inspired, it's aligned. So really, you know, you're starting like by living in alignment with your design, by reprogramming these beliefs, you're really manifesting the right opportunities and synchronicities and people that will help you with ease, and you're making decisions more easily because you know that you know your unique flavor of intuition. Maybe you reprogram that you're decisive, and you know, and you just get to have more fun in life. And if your vision is to start a business or continue growing your business, I'm definitely here for you. You know, I've been through the whole journey. I'm still on the journey. We're always on the journey, but yeah, it's really, you know, my clients in the past have really taken leaps and started living their freedom-based lifestyles. They've moved to new places, they've become nomads, they've left their corporate pasts behind without guilt. They've just manifested clients and just, you know, feel so much more confident and make decisions more easily. And you know, I think it's really important to have that support when taking the leap, because yeah, it's so valuable for someone else to believe in you, maybe at those moments when you don't believe that something is possible for you. So yeah, so and if you choose to join me inside Abundance with Ease, it's a 4-month program. So we start with the human design reading. It's a 1-hour reading over Zoom, and you get the recording of that session and the write-up. So again, it tells you all about, you know, how to use your energy so that, you know, and what your unique gifts and talents are, so that you can really live a more joyful life and make money and create abundance doing what comes easily to you and what you're meant to be doing. And again, you're making decisions from an aligned space. So that's the human design reading, which we start with. Then you get 7 1-hour PSYCHK sessions, which is basically a PSYCHK session every 2 weeks. So this is where you get to create these new, more empowering subconscious beliefs. So I think that's key, and really having that regular that regular connect, and really, you know, because through this process of us working together, you'll get ideas about like, oh, this is a belief I need, and this is what I'm ready to shift. Or maybe some old trauma comes up, and maybe you're ready to, and I don't even need to know what the situation is. You don't have to tell me. That's the magic of it. You can just process it and yeah, just become more at peace with the past. And that's so key, because I'm still realizing, you know, the stuff that comes up, like weird shadows and guilt that comes up around the past, that's you know, and it's showing up to be released. And I love, that's why I love doing it with PSYCHK, because it's literally the easiest and most fun way to grow, because there are lots of, you know, you can spend years in therapy, which I did, and nothing against therapy. I think it's great to build some awareness, but sometimes it can be so intellectual, and you're just processing everything in the mind, and it doesn't really connect you to your body and to your heart ultimately. So I think that's what PSYCHK offers. So anyway, getting off on tangents again. So you get human design reading, PSYCHK sessions every 2 weeks, and then you get 4 months of Voxer coaching. So if you're not familiar with Voxer, it's a voice messaging app, but you can also send text and photos, whatever, you know, for those aligned actions, because after, you know, after you reprogram beliefs, you need to commit. I mean, you don't need to, but, you know, I encourage you to to commit to an easy aligned action to ground the new belief for your conscious mind. So you can send me photos of, you know, maybe like the action is to buy yourself flowers. So then you send me photos of the flowers if you want. But yeah, so Voxer coaching, again, like I think connecting every day to keep you accountable towards your goals and really get any support you need, because this path, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it's not the easiest path, like especially you know, committing to your dream life, whatever that means. And especially if you have your own business, there's so much conditioning we have around that really receiving that support every day, and guidance, whatever you need guidance on. And you know, I respond to my clients as soon as I can. And I think it's so key to not have to wait, because I process things pretty quickly as a manifesting generator. So it's like, okay, I want support now. I don't want to wait like a week for our session. So that's why I offer Voxer. So yeah, and then you get my morning journaling prompts to start your day in a high vibrational way. My, you know, my PDF on how I structure my week, and you know, obviously I remind you of that. And there will be a Facebook group to connect and get support from other people in the program, or who choose to sign up. And also you get a 1-hour Akashic Records reading or intuitive reading from my friend Samantha, who's here too. And she is amazing. And I've, yeah, it's been so magical to work with her. And yeah, she really, I don't know, I felt so uplifted after my Akashic Records readings that I decided to offer this to my clients as well. So so yeah, so there's special pricing available on Abundance with Ease till October 6th, which is next Wednesday. And you also receive a bonus PSYCHK session, so an 8th one. If you sign up before then, you receive my human design training if you sign up before then, which is about all the energy types, all the authorities, which is the different flavors of intuition, and the profiles, which the profile is kind of like the personality and how you best learn and interact with others, and my human design for health training. So there's a lot of cool bonuses and available till then. And yeah, so if you are interested, you can send me a message, or you can go to the book now button in my Instagram or Facebook, and you can schedule a free consultation. So that's how you apply to work with me, and you answer a few questions. Or yeah, you can email me. I think all of you are on my list by now. And yeah, let me know if you have any questions. I'm gonna go through the comments. But yes, if you want to unmute yourself, let me know. And then yeah, or send it in the chat. So Christy says she's also a manifesting generator and thought she was meant to do health coaching. So what are you being called to now, Christy? Let us know. And yeah, and Ashley, a human design has helped her release a lot of self-judgment and thinking something was wrong with her. Well, I'm very familiar with that. And yeah, so Ashley's moving to Austin, so that's her leap. Fear of being lonely and taking a long time to create community in Austin. So yeah, I see some opportunities for some for PSYCHK balances, and you know, obviously I'm here to help build a new community in Austin. I'm really excited about that. So yeah, so I will send out the prompt so you can spend more time with journaling, and yes, so I've told you more about abundance with ease, but yeah, if you have any questions, keep me posted. And then Christy also said that she's from Kansas City, so I'm really excited to connect about Kansas City. Yeah, real-time coaching I think is the best. And yes, showing the universe that we're serious. So, you know, yeah, because for years I just I was like, yeah, I'm a coach and I do human design, but you know, I still wasn't fully in, and there's a certain magic when you decide to be fully in and all in and you know, take a risk. Like it's and we've talked about this recently in different masterminds, that you take the leap and the parachute doesn't open right away, but so you have to kind of go through, and this is true in human design too, like once you remove all the things that are not aligned for you, you know, and that's kind of, you create that space. First you say no to things that are not, that do not resonate anymore. You create this space, and it can be a little scary before the universe starts sending you more aligned things. And you know, that space, like you you might want to run back and start doing the things you were doing before. And I certainly know that feeling, but if you just keep on that path, and be committed to only doing things that that you are excited about, that's, you know, that's when the magic happens. And Christy is not sure what she's being called to do now, and that's well, the so many thoughts, ideas are typical of manifesting generators. And that's the thing, like, you know, manifesting generators are here to create something new. You know, so out of all the different seemingly unrelated passions, and so we are meant to be visionaries, and it, you know, and that's the thing, again, you can't connect the dots looking forward, you can only connect them looking back. So really trusting your excitement, and just you know, allowing yourself to start, that's key, and starting with the thing that feels most exciting and easy. So yeah, Kate says human design has set her free, and lots of acro in Austin. Okay, so Jarita had to jump off, and yes, yes, Ashley's already joining acro groups on Facebook. All right, so any other questions or anything you want to share, feel free to unmute yourself. I can actually finish the recording, so thank you. I'm just going to stop recording, but you guys are welcome to stay on. And the ones who are watching the replay, thank you so much for being here. And again, you can email me at coachingwithsonia@gmail.com, or find me on Instagram at Sonia PSYCHK, or my website, soniapsych.com. So lots of ways to reach me. And yeah, okay, so I'll finish the recording.